What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. Welcome back to another video. Now, I've seen a lot of comments in my videos and people asking me about Jasmycoin, and I talk about Jasmycoin quite a bit. There just hasn't been much news that's going on with Jasmycoin. It would mainly just be updates and where it stands and what I believe in. Just know, before we even dive into the full context of this video, I still have 1,000,000 Jasmycoin. Right? I still fully believe in Jasmycoin. I've made money off, shorts as well as long positions in Jasmycoin. I've made a decent amount from it short term without even selling any of my 1,000,000, I would say shares, but they're coins. 1,000,000 coins of Jasmycoin. I've also been able to put 100,000 aside for pretty much forever, and I don't plan on touching it, but 900,000 I do plan on going through my standard exit plan for Jasmy. I see so much success in this coin. I see it growing a lot more than where it is today. I see it growing a lot more than where it was at its peak point. It's just taking its time as we see altcoin season develop. We see a lot of other things that have a ton of potential that are still at lowish levels, not the lowest levels, but lowish levels compared to what the expectation actually is. Know that we have not seen altcoin season happen yet. Whether it happens or it doesn't, whether a true altcoin season happens or it doesn't, we are going to see Jasmycoin have a major amount of success. Now, whether that gets to the peak levels, which would be peak altcoin season, or it'll just be massive increases, we've still experienced an increase and we're going to still experience an increase within this. So I want to talk about Jasmy in this video. This is all about Jasmy and what's going on, what I see within it right now, as well as any type of short-term moves that I'm making for the time being. So if you guys could, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Patreon at PerryHGA, you can follow me over there. Now, don't forget about my link for BTCC. It is honestly a very good platform. I know I mentioned this quite a bit. We are partnered with BTCC. They do offer a 10% deposit bonus when you use my link specifically, as well as extra bonuses all the way up to $10,055. You can also have 40% lower trading fees. Now, the things you can do in this platform, you can trade outright, you can leverage trade, and you can demo trade. So if you don't know what you're doing with trading, short-term, long-term, whatever, you can utilize this platform to trade on markets, on active markets without real money, just so you can get a little bit of practice. Now, just know, if you trade without real money and you get upset about the fact that you made a ton of money from it and that could have been real money, that's always a chance that you take. But you're developing a strategy as you go ahead and do it. And I would suggest you only invest money that you are looking to invest. You get $100,000 to invest with paper money. But if you only have it $100, then invest with $100. Don't invest with $100,000 and go, I could have made $200,000 here. No, that's not the case. You have to do it with the money that you were willing to put up, because that's all that you really have. So anyways, check out my link down below for BTCC if you guys are interested. Now, Jasmycoin. Jasmycoin currently stands at 1.7 cents. It's definitely a low level compared to what we've seen in the past. If we look at the last day, it's down by 1.45%. In the last 7 days, down by 11%. In the last month, it's up by 3 or almost 4%, let's say. Let's round up. And then in the last year, it's down by 33.45%. We've seen some ebbs and flows to the market. We've seen some peaks and valleys. We've been on a roller coaster ride as you've been invested into this. Now, if you've been invested into it for over a year, let's say it was 2 years or so, you've experienced major gains even up to this point. And I applaud you for being there. If you made moves and sold at a higher level, then I applaud you for doing what you did and making money through the process, because making money is great. And this is why you see the market flow up and down, right? You see people that are that believe in it. They make money up to 3 cents. It goes back down to 1.5 cents, increases up to 6 cents. A lot of people end up taking profit, and now it comes down to a low level of like point or 60% of a penny or something like that, right? So or sorry, coming down to like, sorry, not 60% of a penny. It was like around 1 penny. It was like 90 or 80, something like that. But then seeing that transition or seeing the movement back up is always great, back up to 2 cents. But know that we are still not in the popular time for altcoins to thrive. So if we're not there, we're not going to see this major movement here. We did see that really quick uptick to show us what the kind of potential is for how fast it can move. And then we're going to see when money starts flowing into altcoins that we end up seeing that again and again and again, getting up to 6 cents, getting up to 10 cents, getting up to 12 cents, and so on and so forth. Now, again, there's not much that's going on with Jasmycoin right now when it comes to news and adoption and all that stuff. Everything that we've looked at and we've talked about is still there, is still with a more likely chance to happen. I want to wait until we get to 100,000 holders. That will be a major story to then continue to grow to 200,000 holders and 300,000 holders and all of that there. You still have 50 billion coins in supply. We've seen a lot less capable coins get to multiple billions of dollars worth of a market cap, and it's currently sitting right below $1 billion market cap. Now, if we go over to BTCC to kind of break a little bit of things down, I do plan on doing another short-term play. I feel like where it stands, if you look at the grand scheme of things and where we are, we're kind of looking like we're at this low level, a triple bottom here. Even where the 50 moving average is, it looks like a triple bottom here. So that I'm looking at it and going, all right, well, this is a solid point to invest. Is it the lowest point possible? No. But this was honestly one of the lowest points for a lot of altcoins, not just Jasmycoin, right? It's an altcoin season problem, not a Jasmycoin problem. So with people saying that Jasmycoin is not going to be anything, it's not going to be worth anything, it sucks and all that, that's on you, right? You can say whatever you want, do whatever you want. I'm not going to be mad at you for making the moves that you're making or not making those moves or having beliefs, right? They're your beliefs. But this is definitely a significant point for me as I look through it. It's definitely a significant point for me because now I can maybe have a short-term play in this, which I am going to put through today. That may be, it depends what leverage I do, right? Because if I do a 2x leverage, it gives me so much room to succeed in the end. If I do a 5x leverage, it gives me a little bit less room. And then if I do a 10x leverage, I'm now starting to gamble a little bit to where if it moves by 10%, it drops by 10%, I lose everything that I've invested, right? A 2x leverage could be 50%, right? If it drops by 50% from 1.7 to then, below 1 cent, then that's when I could lose absolutely everything. But I don't see that really happening, right? We could see a pullback from Bitcoin and the whole market could transition as well. Or we could see a pullback from Bitcoin and a transition into altcoin season. And that's kind of the risk that I'm willing to take at the moment, especially with the gains that I've made in BTCC. So I'm going to go ahead and put through maybe at a 10x leverage. We'll see what that looks like. At a 10x leverage and go ahead and do about $100 worth of Jasmycoin at a 10x leverage, which should give me about $1,000 that I'm trading with for contract value. And as we see that grow, I'll be able to make a lot more as we move along. So I'm going to go ahead and put through a long position for these tops and different levels that it could get through there. I was tempted to put through a 15x leverage, but I can't see myself putting through a 15x leverage right now. I typically do a 2 to 10x leverage. There's times where I do a 15. You can see here I have a one that's 50x leverage for BTC, but that's on the downside for BTC. So if I add a stop loss, which I always have to do, at a 10x leverage at 10%, which would get me down to 1.5 cents, which is fully capable of happening. Honestly, I would lose everything that I invested into there. Maybe I should have done a 5x leverage, but I'll go ahead and do that. But then if I look at the level of 6 cents again, right, hitting a level of 6 cents, that would be $2,564 if it finds a way to get to those levels off of a $100 investment. Now, if I lose this entire investment, I've already made money out of other investments there, so I'm not really worried about it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I think I didn't want to put through the take profit. But if it does get to that point, I will take profit. If it gets to a halfway to that point, I probably will take profit. But either way, still believe in Jasmycoin. I'm not upset with where these things are going. Let me go ahead and just show you guys that I still have all of my Jasmycoin. If I go over to my Coinbase, you're going to see here that I still have 900,000 Jasmycoin in my possession on Coinbase. Over 100,000 that's over on my Ledger wallet as well, sitting at $15,497.83. I'm up $11,000 or $12,000, a 342% return. So people already still have a ton when it comes to those returns. It's just for the short term, people that got in at a level of 1 cent, maybe worried. 2 cents, definitely worried. 3 cents, they're down on their play. 4 cents, 5 cents, 6 cents, all of those levels that they bought at, you now have to either consider averaging down or just waiting till you get back to break even. Or you can cut your losses if you want. But I still fully believe in Jasmycoin and where it's going and what it will be worth. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.